the news. What?
I got to get a stack of papers.
Is going on? I got to get that.
Yeah, that's what you need.
Something
That's
like
what
that.
you need.
News from around the realm.
The MTV sound.
So what we do with this segment, we just kind of like gloss over a couple stories that popped up during the week. We're like, oh, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
Comment on that.
We're going to start with the first one, Tone. This is not interesting. This just fucking sucks.
You really fucking had to do this?
I wanted to get it out of the way.
I just exposed myself.
I know,
my
you're already kind of emotional.
with holdovers, and now you're throwing
Here's your
Adam
fucking trauma.
Jensen.
Here's your trauma.
There's my fucking trauma. That's why I was crying Sunday. Motherfuck.
So this week, Embracer Group announced another set of layoffs to their studios. This time, Eidos Montreal confirmed that 97 jobs were lost. The studio employed 481 people as of 2022. So that's almost 20% of their staff got laid off. Now, look, layoffs are big right now, and it's really unfortunate. But there is another casualty here, Tone. And we do now know that Eidos Montreal was working on another Deus Ex game.
So Adam Jensen's out of a job. However,
sounds like he wasn't even in it.
Sounds like he wasn't even in it because last time we recently heard his voice was in
fuck.
Starfield.
That's right. But he also took to Twitter, social media, and said, "Look, if this game was in 2 years in development, and I haven't been called for dialogue, or script, he goes, I doubt this was an Adam Jensen
said they
story.
didn't even page him.
They didn't even try to reach out to him. But yeah, dude, a new Deus Ex game was 2 years in development.
Unreal.
2 years,
unreal,
and it was canceled, along with almost 100 people laid off. This was devastating news, and Embracer Group just is continually reeling from that $2 billion deal.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh, if that's really him subscribing, he just showed up at the right time because you want to talk about an Adam Jensen.
Oh,
super
the Jensen
fan.
guy.
He's a
Deus
huge
Ex
Deus
guy?
Ex fan. Yeah.
Oh man. So like last year, we know that Embracer Group announced that a $2 billion investment fell through. The Savvy Games Group is the party that backed out of that deal. Savvy is owned by Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Public Investment Fund. And after that deal blew up, Embracer announced that it was going to have to start restructuring and that it would shut down or sell studios and pause some game development. And by sell studios, they just mean lay off a bunch of people, and pause some game development means cancel the goddamn
these
thing.
These motherfuckers need to sell off these properties to other
Dude, that's
people.
what I'm saying. Like, look, dude, if you can't fucking make these games, sell the fucking Deus Ex IP to somebody who can.
You know who I want to get their hands on it?
Who's that?
Clearly, Square Enix didn't give enough shit about it either as a publisher. But fucking let's have Airship Syndicate pick it up. You know, they love holding stuff and putting some shine on it.
Oh, that'd be a nice one.
They love RPGs anyways as well, too, and they'll do just about yeah. Do that.
Oh, I see. I came in at the right time to throw an absolute. Hey, Forge, sound off, bro. Sound off. I mean, seriously, man. And this is just. I mean, look. There's no indication when this is going to end for Embracer Group. When that $2 billion investment deal fell through, that was it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They've laid off so many people, and now they're dude. Like, look, I have to believe now at this point, unless they sell that IP, Deus Ex is now officially fucking dead.
Yeah,
because we were worried that it was. I think the last time anyone talked about this, they said they were just going to put it on the back burner.
Yeah, that was what. They said that
it's going to be on the back burner for a while, but you never caught. But dude, this was 2 years in development. This thing is this IP is fucking dead now.
Mm-hmm.
Unless they sell it off to somebody else, or they sell off Eidos Montreal completely.
Somebody needs to pick them up. I don't know what the fuck Embracer's even doing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, they're reeling. They made the decision to buy up all these fucking studios,
right?
Because they wanted to get into the video games and make that money.
They got in over their fucking head.
Didn't get the investment that they needed. Now they got to start fucking laying off people and canceling fucking IPs and games. That's what happens with all this fucking consolidation shit. And you try to get all these studios and all these IPs and all these developers under one umbrella. I mean, same thing's going on with Microsoft. They've been laying off a ton of people. Dude, they had their earnings report come out. They had like one of their best years ever.
Did they cut off Blizzard people, wasn't it?
Blizzard Interactive, like, I think, was it 1,900 people?
Yeah, 1,900.
I can't remember. That was a lot.
It was 1,900.
Yeah, 1,900 employees. And they just had one of their record years. So, I mean, like, look, man, everyone thought, oh, hey, look, they're buying Activision. Everyone will be fine. Nope. I mean, the industry is imploding right now.
Mm-hmm.
You see these layoffs happening fucking everywhere. Like, what are we doing? I understand the cost of games are going up, but you're making fucking tons of money off of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's lay off 1,900 people. Let's lay off 20% of fucking Eidos and cancel a fucking awesome, probably an awesome-ass Deus Ex game. Yeah, like, look, I like Adam Jensen, but I like the Deus Ex gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck who you put in there.
It's one of the first, or one of the few FPSs I do play.
Dude, I mean, for Christ's sakes, I mean, when's enough gonna be enough?
I don't know.
It's because of all the shovelware on mobile. He's not wrong.
That's where everybody's making the money.
It's just mobile gaming in general, man. That shit's fucking annoying. Like I said, it's just
eating itself from the inside out.
It was super disappointing, man, to hear about the layoffs, because we don't want to see people get fucking laid off. And I mean, these are all talented developers. These people have made great fucking games, and now they're forced to go find a gig somewhere else. Now, look, Eidos Montreal staff management, they said they're working with the people who've been affected, and they're trying to make sure they're taken care of in the meantime. The reason they canceled the game this far is because it just wasn't Jensen enough.
Right.
Like I said, man, I love Adam Jensen, but I just love playing Deus Ex games for the RPG elements, the stealth elements, and the combat. I mean, Jensen's awesome, but I'll play a fucking Deus Ex game if it doesn't have Adam Jensen in it. I don't care. I love the concept of those games.
We need more.
We do need more, but we ain't getting it for a while now,
No,
dude.
they said, fuck you.
I mean, for them to cancel a game 2 years in development, this IP is dead. Now it's fucking dead.
No, yep, who knows?
Sell the goddamn studio or sell the IP and get rid of it. Embracer, nobody wants you around anymore.
Yeah.
You're bad news. You're tainted. You fucked up. Sell everything off and get the fuck out of the gaming business.
Sell Eidos
You're not
Airship.
ready.
Sell to Airship.
Sell to Airship. But yeah, man, that was super disappointing news.
Because we didn't even know.
No, we didn't know shit, dude. The last time they said anything about Deus Ex, we're like, it's on the back burner.
Yeah.
They're going to put it on ice for a while.
Right.
We'll revisit it at some point.
And then every time Forge and I hang out, like, that always comes up. Like, it'd be cool if they made another fucking Deus Ex. You know?
I'm going to eat this. Keep talking.
He says, the reason I'm so adamant is we got 2 games into an obviously 3-part series.
Obviously, huh?
You know? So, yeah, I mean, we need to finish out Adam Jensen's story. But I don't know why Eidos is doing that without Adam Jensen. I don't know what the...
I wonder if they're trying to make something smaller scale to see if there was any interest in something bigger.
Well, the problem was, and this is the last thing I'll say about it, and this is why Square Enix was a shitty fucking publisher for Western games, is because they didn't market them or push them at all.
And they had shitty expectations.
They did and they did a shitty job putting money behind promoting them. You think they put a fucking penny more extra towards any of these other ones that they're doing for like Final Fantasy or Kingdom Lane? No, they don't do that. No, they don't.
Literally told the developers how much we loved Human Revolution. You told the developer? Oh, oh man.
Because GameStop, we do the
oh, that's right. Yeah,
GameStop. So like when Eidos would be like there and shit like that, Eidos was always one of the ones I'd stop at. So I went up to him one time and said, "Dude, there's like a handful of us that fucking love Human Revolution."
Now here's the thing, man, and I don't know if maybe Forge did or you did. When Human Revolution came out, I played it right away, beat it right away. I was like, this game is fucking rad. But I do remember the boss battles were a little weird because they had contracted those out. It wasn't made by the developer, the boss battles. They contracted those out. So that's like if you were built more towards stealth,
right?
You went into the boss battle at a massive disadvantage.
Right.
Like because you weren't like fully built
because you had to be ready for the combat.
Because the people who were making the boss battles didn't have all that other information to take into consideration. They're just like, hey, make this guy this, make this girl that, and we'll put it into the game. They outsourced that. I did say rad. Radical.
I say it all the time, bro.
I'll say radical if you want. I'll go full on.
I say it all the time.
But I do know after, I don't remember if it was 6 months or a year after, they had was it a director's cut?
There was a director's cut.
Where they went back and redid the boss battles completely. So that you were more inclined to be like, okay, you want stealth. Yeah, yep, exactly. There was the expansion. They made like a director's cut where they went in and pull out a windbreaker. I actually have one, and maybe I'll wear it next week for you, Cuddles. But yeah, they released a director's cut that fixed all that. And I never played it again to see how different it was or how I could bring a stealth character and be a little bit more successful.
Yeah, Forge probably replayed it a few times, I think. So,
but like, Forge, if you did, like, how much different were the boss battles? I mean, were they significantly different, or was it just like little tweaks to allow you to go in there with a certain build and not be at a complete disadvantage?
Yeah, because that was the thing about the last boss. Matter of fact, now that you say that, because I was built pretty heavily stealth, and it was a tough fucking battle because I wasn't ready for that kind of combat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I kept hanging around in the fucking the duct system, and you kept seeing me and shit. I'm like, you fucking cock.
Yeah, and then I remember Mankind Divided. Loved that game. The final boss battle was so lame. I remember walking after beating that game. I was like, "Fuck, this thing was so close to being perfection." But the boss battle, the final boss was that dude. I can't remember what his name was, but I was like, "This is so." It was so lame.
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah,
it was anticlimactic, and it was just really easy.
Yeah,
like it wasn't super well thought out. But now, I'm curious to get anyone's thoughts. If you were able to play Human Revolution, I did, and it was completely different. It made it so you could complete the boss battles with Ghost and Pacifist intact. See, that's fucking awesome. Now I want to go back and fucking play it.
I always think about going back and playing them
because
too.
I do remember playing that. Remember playing that, going, "Oh god, this just feels so." I'm like, man, I just can't do anything to these bosses. Mm-hmm. I ended up beating it, but I remember it was just so frustrating. And then I remember reading the story about how they outsourced, and I was like, that makes a lot of fucking sense.
Not to mention, it was also in Detroit.
It was in Detroit, and that was dope about it. So that was pretty sweet. But let us know your thoughts on Embracer Group. I mean, should they just take everything away from them? You don't deserve to be a fucking publisher. You don't deserve to own these companies. Take it away from them. You can't have. That's why we can't have nice things.
That's
because the kids are always breaking the toys.
Truly why.
All right, Tom. Moving on. So this week, Suicide Squad and Kill the Justice League came out in early access. There's a lot of people who are very curious about this game.
Well, we played what was
the beta or alpha or whatever
something
it was.
Like closed, whatever.
I didn't come away overly impressed. I didn't like the combat.
I deleted it.
I thought Cuddles made a good reference the other day. I was talking to him about it, and he goes, it kind of played like Crackdown. I was like, you know what? It did. Mm-hmm. And I liked Crackdown. I thought it was fun. It was stupid.
Yeah, it worked in his world, though.
It worked in the way it was set up. I thought that was cool. But, dude, this is fucking Rocksteady. Okay? This is Rocksteady. They made some of the best Batman games ever made because of story writing and grounded combat. Yeah, you could swing around and shit like that, but I mean, it was mostly melee combat. Mm-hmm. This one, you're flying around with jetpacks. Like, everyone's traversal involves flying around.
Well, not only that, but every fucking character, all four of them, play so absolutely different that you've got to, like, and it's like a nuanced difference for, like, your traversal.
Yeah.
So it's not like you get to use a jetpack with Deadshot and then King Shark, and it's the same button. Like, oh, hit the R button, right? No, you've got to do something fucking completely different.
Yeah. But you're still doing the same thing. But you got to do something different to do it.
It's so fucking convoluted and unnecessary.
But I mean, like, look, I'm not ready to shit on this game because I really do want Rocksteady to succeed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really, really. Oh, thank you so much, Roy. We appreciate you, brother. But I really want this game to succeed. I fucking want Rocksteady to do well.
Yeah.
I don't want them to have a game film. Warner Brothers like, hey, we got to shut you down. We got to sell all your. We got to get rid of your staff.
Embracer's buying them next week.
So a lot of people were curious, like, what is this game going to be like? How is it going to do? Is it going to be well received? Are people going to love it? Because we know now, obviously, this is a live service game. Another live service game with a big IP. And can they make something that you'll want to keep playing? Well, Tone, this thing did not start off well at all. This game is one of those games where if you buy the deluxe edition, you get early access, like 3 or 4 days. You can hop in early, start playing right away.
Like everything, yeah.
The moment this fucking game went live in, like, New Zealand, people were logging in to play, and when they logged in, it said, congratulations, you beat the game. And it completed the whole fucking game. Like, you were done with the game. And everyone was like, what?
Yeah, it's a $99 version of the game.
So immediately Rocksteady's like, whoa, sorry, nope. And so they pulled the servers down for 6 hours. And then they did a maintenance the next day for like another hour or so. So disastrous launch right out the gate. Thank you, Cuddles. And immediately everyone's just going, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not only were we unsure of what this game's going to be like, is it going to be fun, is it going to have a good end game, but we can't even get this thing off the fucking ground. Mm. So a couple days go by, And Rocksteady comes out, and they're just like, hey, we fucked up, and, we recognize that you've been patient with us during our initial launch server updates, and we'd like to show our appreciation for your patience with a special gift of 2,000 Luther coins. Yeah, that's nice.
Mr. Luthor.
Some in-game currency? Oh, okay, I appreciate that. You can buy one legendary skin for 2,000 Luther coins, which tells you a lot about how the fucking in-game...
That's 20 boners.
In-game currency is going to work out, and how much the skins are going to cost.
And how much this game's going to fucking fail and lose money because of it. Can you say Marvel's Avengers? I mean, for fuck.
Dude, like... And here's the thing I want to ask you, Tony, and I want to get you guys and girls' thoughts, too. With the exception of Digital Extremes and Bungie and even Hello Games with No Man's Sky, there have been very few live service games that have lasted more than a year. We've seen several big IPs. Marvels, crash and fucking burn. Anthem, crash and fucking burn.
Almost out the gate.
Right out the gate. I have to, and with the way these games are going in terms of like their cost to be made, how much longer is the live service model going to be sustainable for anybody?
I think it goes back to the mobile thing that we were saying. Honestly, like that shit is eating so much up, and the thing is like they keep wanting to use these big name IPs for this live service shit, and nobody, and like you can't. Like, I get it, you want to have that, but the problem is it's fucking polishing a turd. Yeah. You've got a great IP, but how about we build a fucking good game first? Yeah. How about we go there and say, I've got this great idea.
Got a story.
Maybe we should add, maybe we could add, the live service too. But like, even like, like a Ghost Recon Wildlands, that was a, kind of a live service, but like whatever. I still think it was better than Breakpoint, and I like Breakpoint. I just feel like it worked better, you know, in that sense. And they had problems with that from the getting going as well too. So I don't know how long these live service games. Listen, if you're not like seriously like trying to be like a full on MMO in some way or having engaging content, you're not going to last. The thing that these games, like, especially again, go back to Marvel Avengers and this one, they're trying to charge. They want to charge you for cosmetics, which I find is fine if that's what you want to spend the money on. Yep. But the problem is they're not doing it at a fair price. Halo Infinite is the same fucking way. Yeah. They want to charge you fucking $20 for something, or $15 for something. That's a fucking quarter or third of an actual fucking game for a stupid cosmetic. And sometimes you can earn other ways to get them, but it's a long-ass fucking process that nobody ain't got time for. So they know they're going to get you because guess what? It's the mobile game mentality again.
Right.
But there's no substance.
No, there's none. And I mean, we do know that the story in this game is 9 to 10 hours at the most. So now you're like, okay, well, there better be some fucking end game.
Yeah.
The gameplay loop better be there. Because, look, I love Justice League and I love DC, but if you don't have any shit there for me to play, I'm out. And I'm going to be pissed I dropped $99 and $69 on the game.
You move to the next live service games that come out 2 weeks after.
And that's why it's so important to have a fucking game plan of how you want to do stuff. And I like what Cuddles just said. I will die on this hill, but if I pay a full price for a game, I'm not paying $20 or more for skins. Go back to the old way where you wanted a cool skin, you had to do something in game to earn it.
No, it's literally because you know what this all goes back to. And mobile gaming is a big piece of this. This all fucking goes back to fucking Rockstar. Yeah. This all goes back to Rockstar. This all goes back to fucking GTA Online and selling fucking shark cards. Yeah. And then everybody, 2K, this developer, Stubbs for fucking MLB, all this shit. Oh, fuck, these guys are making hand over fist they bought a game 10 years ago and they're still making money off it because people want to buy a new fucking car and game. Not every game is fucking Grand Theft Auto Online. Right. Guess what? You know what I mean? So, yeah, they need to go back to the old way. They need to figure something out. But we need to stop being in this thing where the game industry is more worried about how much can they stretch the fucking buck instead of creating good content. And that is part of the reason why I'd rather spend money on single-player games and get 25 or more hours and not worry about it. Because now I don't have to invest time in a game for 20-some hours and be fucking done with it.
Right.
And move on to the next.
And see, I can't help but wonder if that's why you look at somebody like Activision. I mean, obviously they didn't lay it off, but they just canceled a survival game. A game, by all accounts, basically what I was reading online is like some of the the journalists in the industry had heard that this game was actually really fun to play. Like it was testing really well internally.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, I don't know. I'm assuming it probably had some live service elements. It's Activision, so they're going to want to get something out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if you look at like what Sony has done, 2 years ago, they're like, oh, we got 12 live service games planned between now and 2025. Naughty Dog fucking killed off their live service game.
Yeah, that's going to keep happening.
Because I think these publishers and these studios are like, we can't do this.
Mm-mm. Listen, like Fortnite come up as well too. Some of these games, like the battle royales, do like even Call of Duty to some ends.
Yeah.
In that instance, the way they got their battle passes set up, you can either earn it or you can pay for it.
Yeah,
and that's fine. They've found a good method for their live service, and I don't think that's too bad and too much to ask for, honestly. No. But it's these other ones that are trying to be hybrid games, live service, pseudo RPG. 9 hours of fucking story gameplay content. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You want to be a live service game, you better come swinging at this point with a game like this to be more like World of Warcraft or something at this point, because you're not going to sustain. You're spending all this fucking money for all this fucking shit. And then you want to charge everybody, because you decided to buy a big IP, because you decided to fucking give us a half-ass game. Now you want to charge us $20 for a fucking Superman skin. Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
You tell him, Tone.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's been a rough week. Now, look, the reviews aren't still out. Yeah, I know VGC, they gave it 4 out of 5 stars, said they really enjoyed their time with it. They had a lot of fun with it. But even then, it's hard for me to trust some of these reviews for a live service game that you're not going to know if it was worth your time until you've spent 30, 40 hours with the fucking end game.
That's how you know.
Is the fucking gameplay loop going to be there? I can sit there. Dude, when Anthem first came out, when I was playing it, at first, I was like, oh, man, this is fucking sweet. I'm Iron Man. This is kind of fucking rad. It looks good, sounds good, fun to play. But, man, that gameplay loop came to a halt real quick. We were just like, there's not a whole lot here.
No.
Not a whole lot here. Cool at first, but once you realize how shallow the experience is, then you're like, nah, man. I paid too much fucking money for this.
Right.
And I feel like that's where live service games are right now, man. And when you have a community who is like, fuck yeah, let's go, game comes out, fuck, this is bullshit, and like you said, bolt to the next game, that fucking studio has to work overtime, damage control, to find a way to make their shallow-ass game deeper before everyone just fucking quits.
Yep.
Thank you so much, DBZ. Appreciate that.
Welcome.
But no, it was just it's disappointing. But again, I'll wait to see reviews, and I want to hear what people say about it. It's hard to get excited about this right now because the beta was underwhelming. They had issues at launch. 9 to 10 hour story, not long enough for me. Not in a DC game, it's not. Especially after playing Arkham and things of that nature. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm not look. I spent a lot of time playing Destiny, but even then, I was just like, I'm more out. But that's so rare to have something like Destiny where you can sit there and play it that long and constantly have enough stuff to be like, okay, I'll keep going. But that, dude, for every Destiny, there's 5 or 6 Anthems or Marvels.
Well, it seems like Rocksteady didn't have a lot of faith in it because they didn't want to give IGN a code, and I don't want to dive too deep into that.
They didn't give a lot of people codes.
That says a lot.
Yeah, they didn't. Like IGN didn't get a code at all. A lot of people got their codes like yesterday.
Yeah, that says a lot.
So. Get it out before the game drops to the public in 2 days.
Yeah.
So
Zero faith.
Cuddles played WoW for 2 decades. There's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. And the way not to do it is the greedy way. And these publishers and developers and whatnot, they're finding out the hard way that you can't just do that. All right, Tone. Last bit of news we wanted to talk about. This is actually fucking hilarious. Obviously, we have our opinions on Sony's handling of the Marvel properties, specifically Venom. And what was the other one that we just watched with Jared Leto? What was that one? Mobius. So, obviously, not great movies. I mean, they made money for some fucking weird reason. A lot of people went to go see it because they liked it. But coming up, the next title is Madam Web. I think it comes out in a week or two. I actually haven't even seen the fucking trailer for it. I know they dropped a trailer for it. But it stars Dakota Johnson. Disney's not doing much, but they ain't doing this bad. By Disney standards, Disney's not doing great.
Disney's not tripping
They're
before
not
the
doing
door
this.
Yeah, Disney's not tripping before the door opens.
Yeah, this is bad. This is really bad. So, anyways, Dakota Johnson came out. A story broke recently that Dakota Johnson had recently signed with a creative artist agency, marking a significant move for the actress per Variety. The agency will represent Johnson across all areas. Now, she was with somebody else before that recently, but she left, dude, for an actor or a director or anybody like that to just walk away from their agency, somebody that's been with them for a while, but like for them to just up and walk away, something had to have happened. And that probably is related to the story that she had talking about the production of Madam Web. And here's what she had to say. I've never really done a movie where you are on a blue screen and there's fake explosions going off and someone's going, explosion, and you act like there's an explosion. That, to me, was absolutely psychotic. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be good at all. I hope that I did an okay job. But I trusted Clarkson, the director, and she added that, noting that she regularly checked in with the director throughout the shoot. She worked so hard. She has not taken her eyes off this movie since we started. But for her to come out and just be like, man, this is fucking weird, and I hope this doesn't suck, and then she switches agencies purportedly because she was so fucking pissed that she was involved with this movie, because she knows it's fucking garbage. Really not ideal marketing 2 weeks before launch.
That's not a good PR look at all.
The optics on this are not good.
Right.
And, I mean, dude, by all accounts now, I mean, if she was that unhappy making this movie where she left the agency that was representing her, and then she has this to say, like, I don't know anything about blue screens, can't wait to see her performance during the heavy action CGI stuff.
Right.
I mean... I am actually considering going to see this just to see how bad and how awkward she is in those moments. But Jesus, can Sony do anything right with these properties anymore?
It always comes back to, and I said this so long ago, Sony, everybody wants that MCU money, at least especially early on. Like, you know, they want that. They want to create their MCU or whatever. You know, this is part of the Spider-Man pantheon and stuff like that. There are ways to do it, especially with Madam Web and the whole web thing. And it's definitely a multiversal thing that they could, yes, do if done well. The problem is that Sony's non-video game divisions, their movie divisions, are so fucking hit or miss with this shit and just can't fucking get their shit together on it. They're dropping the ball nonstop. Like, listen, the first Venom is it's all right. It's an all right movie. Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it could have been better. It was far from great. It wasn't the worst movie I've seen. The Carnage one after was pretty fucking awful.
It was bad.
It was not even okay for me. Morbius was a fucking joke, like a complete fucking joke.
That ending though, remember the cutscene with Michael Keaton?
Well, at least the best part, you have Michael Keaton involved. But I mean, this in theory is like a pretty intricate storyline at one point, like in the comics, and I believe even some of the cartoons and stuff like that. But this is a pretty big piece of it. But like why Sony is continuing to they're just trying to replicate, but they can't do it. They don't have the proper people involved. They're not sitting down and coming up with a plan. They're throwing shit at the wall every fucking time. They're like, well, since it's a villain of Spider-Man or an alliance of Spider-Man, we can make a movie about it, and they're just throwing it at the wall, and that's all they're going to be able to do. And they need to literally just have Sony knock it off, stick with the animation, stick with the video games, and if you're going to make a fucking movie, just let the Feige and the team come in and at least hold the reins. Make your fucking movie money check because you own the rights, since you won't ever sell them back. Just take a couple zeros at the end of the check. But have the right people come in and at least try to take a swing at it, not this horse shit. This is fucking stupid. And I'm sick. Listen, Disney's the same way with these fucking blue screens. I am so sick and tired of the oversaturation of CGI.
Oh my God,
I know it's not going back. But, you know, when you see movies that do use practical effects, it just makes you appreciate those more. Even if the movie's shittier, it doesn't fucking matter. At least you have more respect for it. Like, the making explosions, all this shit. God fucking damn. So
if I remember correctly, I think this movie's tracking to just do fucking terrible. I don't think it's tracking to do well at all. There's literally no fucking buzz about this movie. It comes out in like a week, I think 2 or 3 weeks, like at the very minimum 3 weeks.
I think they're going to try and keep saying that people have like comic book fatigue, and I do think there's a degree that's true. But we're also seeing the DCU, which half the time can't produce squat either,
right.
and Sony back to back. And we had Aquaman that apparently is, I think, the worst DCU movie yet, or something like that. I don't know. At least what I read, something like that the other day.
It didn't do well.
And now Sony's coming out with another bastardized something because they want to make money. So, like these guys, like it's not just the fatigue. It's also that you got fucking people coming out there trying to do the same thing, but can't reach a good level to be able to do that, whether it's CGI story or, apparently people that are giving you bad PR now too. So
that's seriously just a worst case scenario for your PR team. Like, how do we fucking correct this?
How do you put that fire out? Good luck.